Welcome to Brownstone Worldwide. Welcome to Brownstone Worldwide. Tips, topics, and talk, we got it all. Brownstone Boozy and Breakfast with Vernell. Here to entertain, and we will help you live well. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you are welcome in the essence. This broadcast, Brownstone, the light is contagious. But you need go on and receive it for yourself. Just open it, exuberant, evolution, excited. We standing on the foundation of expression. You might have seen, you might have been, or you could have gravitated. Our foundation, we want to create a space for all to collaborate and be liberated from eventually all over the globe. And we are extending a hand to those who are an extension from maybe platforms, dig into another stratosphere. Welcome to Brownstone Worldwide. Welcome to Brownstone Worldwide. Tips, topics, and talk, we got it all. Brownstone Boozy and Breakfast with Vernell. Here to entertain, and we will help you live well. And that is MSG, the message in the message. I can OD on my execution of excellency. And this as a man right now, and things aren't created, but see true.
All right, you guys, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the night shift. It is Friday evening, March 6th, 2026. I don't even know where to begin, but we shall. Listen, a couple things we want to go over first, right? We're going to mix this up a little bit because I got time on tonight. Hey, Kayshawn, how are you? Welcome. So listen. I wish that was really liquor, but I would be no good. I'm not a drinker. I wasn't going to lead with this, but we're going to lead with this first. We're going to talk about what we do know happening right now with what's going on. So let's talk about some fact-checked breakdowns that I have with sources that I kind of dug up before I went live, which is what sparked me to go live. So reports are emerging, and I'm sure you all have heard about this, that U.S. Army units connected to Fort Bragg, North Carolina, have been placed on heightened readiness as the war between the United States, Israel, and Iran continues to intensify, folks. Yeah. So if you haven't heard about it, here we are. Now, according to defense reporting, the U.S. Army abruptly canceled a major training exercise for the headquarters element of the 82nd Airborne Division at Fort Bragg, which has sparked internal speculation that the unit could be preparing for rapid deployment to the Middle East. Now, remember, Trump said a couple of days ago that there will be boots on the ground. Now, military officials haven't confirmed a deployment order, but the move has raised questions because the 82nd Airborne Division is the core of the U.S. military immediate response force, a rapid deployment combat force designed to deploy anywhere in the world in roughly 18 hours, if so ordered. The 82nd Airborne includes brigade combat teams of roughly 4,000 to 5,000 paratroopers capable of immediate combat operations, making it one of the first units typically mobilized during international crises. Fort Bragg itself is one of the largest military installations in the world, housing more than 50,000 active duty troops, along with the 82nd Airborne Division, the 18th Airborne Corps, and the U.S. Army Special Operations Command. Defense officials say no formal order has been issued for a ground invasion of Iran, but administration officials also have not ruled out the possibility of deploying U.S. troops, folks, if the conflict escalates further. And meanwhile, the conflict itself continues to expand. We've kind of seen that throughout the past couple of days, right? And we're starting to get reports from non-U.S. news sources that the information that we've been getting here in the States is inaccurate in terms of casualties, in terms of what's really happening on the ground. We've actually seen some of the leadership talk to folks at CNN and grin and say, "We waiting on you." I had a feeling I was waiting on you at the door, right? So the fighting has already resulted in American casualties, like I said, and heightened military readiness across several U.S. bases. So we definitely need to be made aware of that. I know it's kind of hard for us to even wrap our head around that, because remember they said, oh, this is going to take 2 weeks. Then it was 4 weeks. Then it was 8. And now they're saying that this is going to take until September. That part, Alan said, pull up, meet me outside. He said, meet me outside. Yeah, I got you. We're going to go ahead and meet me on the other side. Yes. Hey there. Welcome to the neighborhood, you guys. Now, for those of you all who are new here, I'm Paulette. I'm the owner and founder of Brownstone Worldwide, which houses brownstoneworldwide.com, Cityscape Radio, and you guessed it, Brownstone Living Magazine. We are diligently working overtime, I feel like, getting stuff ready for Brownstone Living Magazine to drop, because it is a dual issue, which Women's History Month and also with Black History together. And then we are currently working on, and I'm doing most of the work on this one, but we're working on the Creator Ecosystem Intensive, which drops on Sunday. It is a 4-hour intensive with me on learning how to make commercials and make money online. That's basically what it is, right? And a lot of people aren't familiar with how to do it. So I've had people for the past year or so ask me, well, how did you learn how to do that and so forth? And so I said, you know what? Let me put a course together, because I ain't giving it away for free no more. Oh, that sounds real personal, doesn't it? Okay. All right. So I'm concerned, y'all. And I don't know about anybody else, but when we're talking about sending more folks to the ground on the ground, I'm concerned because we've been told right now that there have only been 6 casualties. And that's not so. According to sources that are in the Middle East right now, that's inaccurate information. They're saying, earlier today, I heard, I was reading, and then I was listening to the news as I was driving. And yes, I don't even try to watch or listen to, like, local news here in the States, because we know that it's now controlled media, and we're kind of, getting bits and pieces. Hey, Sugar Mama. Sugar Mama. Yeah. Right. Yes, you did. You absolutely did. And that's what I'm talking about on Sunday. That's what now I'm not teaching people how to do readings, which I actually have been doing for 30 years. But yeah, that's one of the things that I do. And we'll be talking about that. It was me. Yes, it was. Yep, it absolutely was. Yeah, one of my biggest clients is that agency that does the work for them. So yeah, we're going to talk all about how I got, and I didn't fall into it. It just kind of happened. So there you go. All right. Yep, it was me trying to be deep. And then you come on here and it's like, that's not the same sister I saw earlier. Hey, Chuck O, how are you? Welcome. So now, according to our news locally right now, it says that at least 6 U.S. service members have lost their lives since the conflict began. The deaths occurred during Iranian retaliatory strikes on U.S. military positions, including attacks on bases in Kuwait. And then at least 18 service members have been wounded. But from what we're understanding, news overseas is indicating that it's more in the hundreds, if not close to 1,000. And we're not being told about it. So it'll eventually make its way out as they start bringing those people home. Right. And we'll be sure to, yeah. Star all hands. Yes. Thank you. Kind of more in that area. And they're just not talking about it. So I definitely wanted to kind of share that with you all as well. Now let's move away from what's happening overseas just for a hot minute. And Alan, we're definitely going to get to this topic that you brought up because I've been so busy today. So thank you for that. I'm really disappointed. All those kids at the school. Right. So let's talk about that first, Chuck. So what I learned today, child, I wanted to go live so bad earlier today. It made me sick because what they did to those children, first of all, it's been confirmed that it was a U.S. airstrike that did it. That's what we've learned. Kind of disappointing in that. Let me see if I move this over. I'll be able to. Y'all just gonna see my little corner over here with my videotapes. Okay, so what we've learned is that they did one strike, and then when the children, they had hit some of the children in the school, some of the school heads, the principal or whatever, started calling parents, come get your kids, and they started moving the children into one secure area. And once they had them in one secure area, tried to protect those babies, they were struck again in that area. And I forgot the name of the tactic that they use in order to do this, but it was absolutely intentional. It was not an oops. It wasn't an, ooh, we didn't mean to do that. It was absolutely intentional. And so that kind of, when I say I'm furious about that, like I was furious from day one, but to find out that that's how the numbers kept going up, was it didn't start out that way. But regardless if it was one or two or, somebody got injured, we're talking about loss of life. What was it? I don't even remember what the number is, because again, we're talking about news and information that I got earlier today. And it's really disappointing. Now, I keep pointing to this because I want us to really be clear that your tax dollars and my tax dollars is paying for 160. Thank you. Are paying for this. Every time you think that your hands and the palms of your hands are not red, I want you to think again. And that goes for me too. That's why we have to start holding people accountable for what is happening right now, who are in office. When you're taking that money, when you're taking corporate dollars, when you're doing these things, because look what's happening to this country. It's not run by we the people anymore, even though we still the people. You feel me? It's run by big corp. And I saw 2 or 3 podcasts today that says that we are officially an occupied country. Yeah. And I had to let that sit in my spirit. And I thought, are we? What exactly does that mean when we say occupy? No, and members that Congress did not sanction this. Let's talk about the energy prices that are surging right now. So $90 a barrel, folks. Yeah. $90 a barrel. Y'all see how I'm trying to learn? I've got a mic on. I'm trying to learn how to bring it down so I don't hurt myself. And I'm ready to shout like I'm pissed. Refineries in Saudi Arabia and Qatar have been targeted by drones. $28 to fill your tank last week, $40 today. My God. Expected to be 150. They called me a moron, Brenda. They called me a moron when I said, hey, Wendy, welcome to the neighborhood. Welcome to the front porch, y'all. I'm always coming up with some names, aren't I? I have officially come up with a name for us, y'all. We are still the neighbors. However, I was working on it today. Real quick, let me tell y'all about this. We officially have a t-shirt and cap, a distress cap. I cannot wait for mine to get here. People in the neighborhood, PITN. Hey, Joycey. People in the neighborhood. And that means you guys. You all are neighbors. And our mantra is front porch energy. That basically means, man, I got that swag. My hat flip to the back. Yeah. It's that knuck if you buck energy, right? It's that I'm on watch and so is my neighbor energy. It's that, yeah, people in the neighborhood front porch energy. That's right. That's right. Absolutely. So if you happen to go into my links, you will actually see where you're able to see the merch itself, because I'm already starting to put it up there. I wanted to make sure that you all understand what that means, right? So like when we say front porch energy, that's looking out for each other. It's like the people that I grew up with in my community when I was a kid growing up in Milwaukee. Oh, we knew everybody. We still play cousins today, but we looked out for each other. Not only did we look out for each other as kids that's right. Absolutely. We had people in our community that looked out for each other, neighbors looking out for each other. Where I grew up, we had watch parties where we learned different things about politics and stuff like that. And we watched our parents and our grandparents and our older neighbors and elders really get into making our community strong. And you don't get that way without learning how to connect together and learning how to sit on that front porch. You know what I mean? When the light came on in the summertime, you could sit down on that front porch, and it might not be your porch. It might be Miss Renee's down the street, and she's finished frying chicken for the night, and her food is put up, and the screen door is open, and everybody's sitting outside swatting flies, right? Front porch energy. We're going to see about the kids that might still be playing because it's dark outside, and not me growing up in the city like I did. Oh, you better be able to see the babies. Even if they're not my children, I'm still going to look out for you. You need a ride to work because you missed the bus? We got you. Front porch energy. Right. Absolutely. All right. So, come on, somebody. Add some sweet tea. Might not be no sweet tea, honey, because it might have been. It might have been Kool-Aid. And we yelling, get your, come on. Yes. Get in this house. Didn't I tell you? Come on, let's get ready for church. I grew up in that kind of house, in that kind of neighborhood. And where my mom had her house, it was brownstone, and it was 3 stories. And we lived on the top stop. We lived on the top floor. Beautiful wood. The whole place was wood. I could still, you right. Chuck said, yes, we got front porch energy. I need your energy. Don't mess around, because I've made a song out of it. Anyway, all right. So I just needed to share that with you all. If you want to go ahead and check it out, I would absolutely go over to the link. It's not up on YouTube yet, folks, so don't flip yet. But they are available beginning today. That, though, purchasing that and supporting actually supports the brownstone and being able to continue to do this. But also it connects you all, right? So when people see it, like, what is that? What you mean front porch energy? What's up? And there are other phrases as well. All right, let's get back into this news, right? So we're definitely going to see more. We all know what he means. Jim Faith right now, but we already know what that means, right? If you grew up in the neighborhoods that we grew up in, you understand. All right, so let's get into these refunds. Did y'all hear about this? Tariffs. U.S. Customs and Border Protection said that it its new system for refunding the Trump administration's Liberation Day tariffs will be up and running in 45 days. So the companies are going to get their money back. Can I ask a question though? Are we going to get our money back? Because they handed off the cost of that to us, the customer. Yeah. So true story. I went to Walmart the other day. Walmart has a new line that I had to go and take some pictures for, right? No, we're not gonna get it, Chuck. So Walmart has a new line, and I went to go take pictures for them. And I went into one of the stores, and it's a really cute line, really, really nice, free assembly. But what's really interesting about each one of the items, none of it had a price tag. Not one. Not one had a price tag at all. And I thought, wow, that's really interesting. So again, refunds are going to take about 4.5 million hours in order to get back to the people. I mean, to the companies. But are you all going, does that mean we're going to see a drop in what we're paying for stuff? Is that how this is going to work? And how do we hold these companies accountable to make sure that we get that money back? I got questions. I really, really do. I really, really do. So definitely wanted to talk about that. And I know that you all have heard about these additional files. You're blessed. First 10 people in. Okay. Jones Rogers. What? Prices go up. No, they don't go back down. And what they're not going to do is drop them back down either, because we're willing to pay for it. Do you know what I mean? And let's keep it real. I don't know about anybody else, but if I don't already have it, I'm not going out to go get it. So it was time for me to find some. I bought like 2 shirts and 2 pairs of jeans. I haven't gotten anything else because I don't have room for it right now. There's so much. I got payroll. Let's talk about that. So I did good to get that. All right. So I just wanted to kind of talk about that and put that out there in the ethers, because we're going to talk about Condoleezza Rice. What's happening? He doing everything to keep from the I word. Has the congrats peach. Has the cognate peach. I don't think I understand, Sugar Mama. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. But anyway, so listen. Former Secretary of State Condoleezza Rice was spotted entering the White House on March 6th. Oh, impeach. Yeah. Alan, I wasn't ready, dear. I was not ready for this. I'm so disappointed. So remember, she served as National Security Advisor from 2001 to 2004 or 5, something like that, right? But we do know that during the Bush administration, George W. Bush, she served as Secretary of State. Her appearance at the White House comes as the U.S. and Israel continue military operations against Iran. Now, analysts note that former national security officials are sometimes consulted during major international conflicts. Rice has also made headlines for strongly supporting U.S. military campaigns against Iran. She said the goal should be to, quote, render Iran incapable of threatening the United States or its allies. Now, mind you, Marco Rubio has already said, we thought that they were going to be an imminent threat, so we wanted to go ahead and get the ball rolling and go ahead and throw hands first before we ended up being a problem. Not at this rate. This woman says she's down with it. She said the goal should be to render Iran incapable of threatening the United States or its allies. These people have already said, we weren't even thinking about y'all. I'm trying to say it in the way that you would on the front porch, right? We weren't thinking about y'all. We was living our own life. We was doing what we were doing because life was life and out here in these streets. And here you come messing with us. And now because you in here messing with us and you threw hands first. You thought we ain't gonna nuck if you buck. What are we doing? I think she feels like since it's already started, she will get involved. I don't know. But her comments have drawn attention because she played a major role in U.S. foreign policy during the War on Terror era. Remember that? Remember when it wasn't it weapons of mass destruction that they never found? Just like the warships that they painted on the ground over in Iran and we bombed those instead. Oops. Y'all didn't hear about that? It's like, you can't make this up. I can't. And see, I said that too, right? So like, ain't she still in the closet too? Why does she support Republicans? It was a picture. They painted pictures on the ground. Oh my God, today. I literally cannot believe that. Anyway, the meeting included policymakers, sports executives now. What? Hey, Miss Lottie Dot, you were all for oil? That's all it is, was all for oil. Absolutely. So she also appeared at the White House on March 6th for a policy roundtable discussion about college athletics and name, image, and likeness rules. So let's pause right there, because what I know is that this has been a big deal, especially for NCAA students. My company about 9 years ago actually did a documentary on this, and how students are making colleges millions of dollars, and they're being given, check this out now, you notice for yourself if you got a student who's played, school, or you played in school in some NCAA, and maybe not even a Division I school, but it could be a Division II, right? So even if they're playing in those types of schools and they're on a full ride scholarship, the rule is you can't make any money during this time. You can't work. You can't do anything. You got to focus on this and go to school. We'll pay for school. The rest you are on your own. How do I know? Because I literally had friends who were a part of these programs. But you were bringing in millions of dollars into these colleges through alma mater programs and by filling seats. And then that money went right back into the college itself. And these boys, literally, and girls, were not able to feed themselves. They couldn't even afford their meal card. I'm not even going to tell you some of the stuff I know some of the kids were doing when I was in college, and I was at I wasn't even at a Division I college. I was at a Division II. Yeah. They're paying them now. Yep. So I'm glad that that's happening. But then the other portion becomes, do you make millions of dollars and forego your degree? Right? And we're seeing how much a degree has helped so many of us. I'm not even going to go there. But that was what this was about, what the name, image, and likeness rules are for those college students. Because it's a big deal. It is. So it included policymakers, sports executives, and university leaders discussing federal legislation affecting college sports. All right. Now, she was seen entering the White House during the Iran conflict, publicly backing U.S. military action against Iran. And she participated in policy discussions at the White House. So I need Condoleezza to go sit down. That's what I need her to do. I need her to go on to the House and let her be remembered the way that she was. Because remember when was it, when 9/11 happened, when she was somewhere getting her nails done or something? Or was it wasn't that? Wasn't it during Hurricane Katrina? Like they were all kind of kicking it like it wasn't a really big deal. And I don't care about you being a prodigy and doing all the things. If you can't even be down for your people, and I mean your neighbors, whether they be white or black, you need to go somewhere and sit down. Buying Ferragamos, yeah. She was at the mall, wasn't she? Remember that? Oh my goodness gracious. Like what? Like I don't. Oh my God. This is a lot, y'all. This is so much happening right now. So, but we shouldn't assimilate. And she assimilated, I think, a little bit too much for my taste. Even though I believe her when she said what she did about that Supreme Court justice, Mr. Clarence Thomas. I believe her. I do. I believe her wholeheartedly. But anyway, I thought I would bring that up to you all's attention because it's a lot. Hey, Orange Swan, how are you? Come on in this room. Welcome to the neighborhood. Come on and sit on the front porch. We got a little something for you. Yes, we are in here tonight. Y'all, I'm really trying to stay within an hour. How long have I been on here? Hold on. Y'all already know I'm going to go over an hour, right? You know, because I've been on here 30 minutes. 30 minutes and 55 seconds to be exact. And I'm trying my best. I am trying my best. And it's not going to work. It's not going to work at all. All right. So let's grab some more news and information. And then what I'm going to do is get back into what I was working on before so we can prepare for Sunday. Now, let's talk about that really, really quick, just so that you all are aware. I get a workshop in the AM, but I love it here. You do? I'm glad that you love it here. Let me tell y'all what somebody told me today. I thought it was the sweetest thing. So I was in a room full of my homegirls and people that I do business with. We're part of a mastermind group, right? Big shout out to Traffic Sales and Profit with Lamar and Ronnie Tyler. If you all are business owners, I would encourage you to check them out. I always show them love where love is necessary because they are the truth. And it's a lot of coaches and stuff out there, but I've been with them for a couple of years now. And when I tell you they help you to generate revenue, that's exactly what they do. Well, y'all, so we were all kind of sitting around. So every Friday, a group of us get together at noon and we break bread and we talk about how we're doing XYZ. Some of us on Zoom calls, some of us are, in person or whatever. And a couple of them were telling me today, they said they Google me. It's like, wait, you what? Girl, yeah. We just want you to know to keep doing what you're doing because we Google you. You get the news in and out and you explain it. I didn't even know people were paying attention like that. I thought I was just going live. I thought I was just providing the news and I like to provide it the way that my mind thinks it, even though I try to be professional, but it's hard to do because some of this stuff is incredulous. You know what I mean? Like this, what are you doing now? Get that pen out his hand. Have him. Yes. So it's like, what are you doing? Would y'all come get this old sapsucker and have him to please go sit down because I cannot. And you know what? Let's talk about this. I got to talk about this because I'm confused. I'm confused and I'm just all over the place tonight because I need to understand. First of all, Kristi Noem is not ousted. They just shuffling her around. You know why they shuffling her around? Because hey there, Ohio guy, how are you? Come on back in this room. Listen, come sit down on the porch, honey. Look at all these neighbors coming in here. I'm so glad to see y'all. Listen, hey, honey, how are you? I want you all to know that Kristi Noem is not out. She's out of the DHS. They removed her from that. You know why? To shut people up. But the Democrats are like, nope, we don't want to shut up. She needs to be held accountable. It's not just me. It can't be. It's not just me. Yeah, she know about the skeletons. We talking about people who literally going with each other. You got a whole husband at the house. He's sitting behind you. Let's talk about this because you couldn't make this up if you tried. He's sitting behind her suited up. He done flew in town to support his wife. And they're talking about her affair. What are we doing? You couldn't make this up. This Shonda Rhimes said she couldn't make this up. And y'all know Shonda Rhimes I'm blown away. I've investigated my husband. Listen, Then for us to sit down in here, but see, this is something I reported back. We're talking separate Ubers back. Right. So we're talking about a woman who is openly, I'm gonna just call it what it is, going with one of her staff members who's married. And y'all created a whole program or a business within 8 days of being awarded a multi-million-dollar contract. Where the money come from? Me and you, our tax dollars. You see how I smile every time I do that? Because that's what they want us to be, happy that you're taking private trips on private jets, and Kash Patel is overseas downing beer in front of our soccer team, acting a complete fool on your dime. Isn't that nice? Yeah. Morning, as we slept the night away, happen now we can't. Right? That's what is straight giving, Ellen. Right? Baby, listen. As we lay, we forgot about tomorrow as we lay. Ooh. For real. Like, right, me and Mrs. Jones. Hey, Shadow Rider. If you didn't know I was here, I'm going to catch you on the tube. For real, you do. Well, I'm glad that you're here. Welcome to the neighborhood. And that's me acting a fool, D. Thank you for that. So now y'all got, you are hanging out. You're harassing your workers. You literally have cosplayed with your Temu extensions and your Shein makeup and an entire camera crew. You have created this online persona, and our tax dollars paid for you to play. And when I found out that he removed her from this position and put her in another, that means she got to move out of housing. Yes, Thunder. Temu extensions. You can't tell, just, you know. Who am I reading? Christy Noah. Yeah. Seems like she knows all of them, don't she? Did you see the meme where the dogs marched? Yes, I saw that. They all of them had their little scarves on. Yeah, they gave her the boot and they put her in another position. Right? So the unfortunate part is the Democrats, and I think that we should too, we should be holding her accountable. It's ramshacked. It's been run raggedy. One of the attorneys from the Department of Homeland Security, or ICE, has literally gone before the Senate, and I forgot what committee it was, and he said what they were doing. He was like, they cut corners, they did this, blah, blah, blah. He whistle blew. The 90 days or so that they were supposed to get, they didn't get. They cut it down to 2 weeks. They didn't go over the legalities. They just let them do whatever they wanted to do. Remember back in the day, some of you guys are new here, but one of the things that I used to say often when I was going live twice a day was this: whatever begins, ends. All joking aside. And when it's over, baby, you got to pay the piper. Yeah. And that time is beginning to show its face. The millions of dollars that you have taken and funneled to your friends, so everybody gets rich during this time. The absolute foolery that we watched as you went before the Senate committee, asking the questions necessary to get answers for the American people, who ultimately we're their boss. And you talking noise? Did you know what would happen if I was full? Let me just say this. If anybody that works for me, let's just say that, anyone that works for me, we can be cool, but don't forget, I still cut your check. And there must be a level of protocol and respect. I will respect you and we will still get the job done. But if you err, if you make a blatant mistake and you get called out, how dare you get defiant? Honey, we didn't even talk about the Board of Peace yet. Thank you for that. Like, what are we doing? These people work for us. So how dare they be indignant when they are being asked questions? They should answer. Pam Bondi, she another one. She worked for us. See, that's one of the things that I want to make sure that we are clear about and that we absolutely understand, that they work for us and not the other way around. That's because, they are hoping upon hope that we're not paying a damn attention. And we are. They're going to get this front porch energy. And how are they going to get front porch energy? Because we're going to do what people in the neighborhoods do. We're going to come together and educate ourselves. We're going to make sure that we understand what the Constitution actually says. We're going to make sure that we start bringing people into this room that will go over some things with each and every last one of us so that we are clear before the midterms come. Because guess what? As far as I'm concerned, they are already here. Every last one of us should already be checking to see where your voting station is. Are you still registered? Are you going to do a mail-in? If you can keep from it, don't. Stand in line. Find out what, and here's something that I didn't know before, but I actually took a tour of an election polling station and I talked to the director of that building, and they made it very clear that you can come in here and ask questions, understand where you're supposed to be, get a sample ballot, all of the things. They will absolutely try thunder. And they got to get this front porch energy. We got to take care of each other out here in these streets. You call Daily D? We absolutely must hold each one of them accountable. All of them. And let me be clear. I'm not just talking about the files. You're going to be working for the election? Excellent. And that's another thing. If you can't, thank you for that. If you can, I always talk about this. I always say we need to go local. How many of you all are familiar with what's happening in your local government? Get ready to vote. Early vote. Do what you got to do. But and let me be clear. Let me also be clear on something else. We cannot be at this point where we're saying things like, but the Democrats are just... I didn't say nobody was perfect. We must do what is necessary to move this needle and flip some things. Period. Because I'm hearing it all the time, right? So yes, we know. And if you don't know, stick around. I think it was Wendy that was like, yeah, pre-record them. I'm going to start pre-recording who these people are so you can just reference through as you need. Did they take APAC, Super PAC? Did they take any funded funds? You need to know. Because you need to know where they stand before you stand in line and get your vote. And let me say something. Some of these folks are so broke down and old, they can't even think straight. They got to have a whole team of people to help them to get to their cars. Are those the kind of people that we need to be representing us? And they're from a bygone era? An entire decision was made on this application right here during the Biden administration because of people who didn't understand the technology behind it. One of the senators literally sat up there and asked, does it take Wi-Fi to run? Sit down. Get somewhere and sit down. And so now you have these people who ultimately, one foot in the grave, won't go somewhere and sit down. So you blocking people that could be in here running some things and moving the country in the way. But it starts local. Broke down, need to go home. Honey, it's all over the place. Broke down, need to go home. Chuck, Marjorie, not Marjorie. What's that woman's name? With her, let's see, who else need to go? Auntie out there in California, it's time for her to go to home too. I'm sorry, Maxine got to go home. Yep. Al, I'm serious. Sometimes it's okay to go home because the ideologies and the ideas that you have, they're great, but sometimes it's okay to just be the griot and get those other people in there with those new thoughts and ideas and conceptualizing what's really happening right now. And it's not happening. The times there, and let me be clear on something. I am old enough to remember when they were still desegregating schools. I was in school. My parents were part of the civil rights movement. The people in the neighborhood where I grew up in were the founders of Sister Clara Muhammad schools and knew Malcolm X personally. These people were part of some of the first organizations of the Divine Nine, and they had relocated to these areas. So I'm not talking about people who didn't know what they were doing. Those are the people that I grew up with, and they were very active. They were very active in my community. Like, I didn't know not to be. Like right now, I'm taking an entire course. The county that I live in is offering a university-style course. It's 12 weeks long for people to understand how county government works. Yeah, I took the doggone class. Started last night. I had so many questions. I was like, I know I'm taking up everybody's time, but I need to understand. I need to know, what's the millage rate? How does this work? Why is this way? XYZ. I learned so much, right? Why are we not doing that? What about our school? You cannot complain if you're letting other people make decisions for you and you don't come to the table. And that goes for your local government, that goes for your school board, that goes for your state government, and that goes for the US government, your federal government. You cannot be mad if you're not volunteering. You cannot be mad when certain things don't come to your community and you always complaining. You cannot be mad if you don't know who your county commissioner is. There you go, D. You can't be mad. Trust. Thank you, Alexa. I sure will. That's right. You have to have skin in the game. We sitting up complaining. I had a whole conversation with somebody about Kamala Harris. This true story. Whole conversation. And that joker told me to my face he didn't vote. Then why are we having a conversation? He didn't even vote. You know why? Because she's just as evil as the other one. I never said that the bird didn't have the wings. I never said that. We had a whole conversation about that too, didn't we? About how far back this goes and how they're honestly in cahoots with one another, the Dems and the Republicans. Honey, if I hadn't been in my own house when I had that conversation, I could not believe that you stood on it, that you did not vote. Period. No vote, no voice. Two wings on the same bird. Absolutely. And that goes way back to right after emancipation. The Republicans literally wanted to protect the freedmen. There was a tie. Remember that? There was a tie back then for the presidential election. They made a deal and said, this was right after This wasn't an election. Yes, it was. It was right after the assassination of Lincoln. And they made a decision. We'll give it to y'all. But if we give it to you, this is what we want in return. Take away all of the naval protections and take away this and take away that from the freedmen. And we'll let you have it. And so they did. Hey, Gladys. So we know they're the same bird. They're making deals behind, and it wasn't even legal what they did, but it stood. It stood. The 40 acres and a mule. They took those people's lands away from them that had been promised. Some didn't get 40 acres. They might have got a half acre. At the time, yeah, they were Dixiecrats. So we understand that, but you can't sit here and tell me that we thought that he could do better, because he's proven that he cannot and had no intention of doing so. But now we're past that. So what do we do now? You get involved. I said it in a video that actually went viral on several different platforms. I said, aren't you glad that this happened? Because if it had not, we'd be dead sleep. We'd be knocked out. Talking about life is good. You know, that's an interesting question, Shadow. I think eventually it may have gotten to that. They would have pushed her, because I do believe that we're in an occupied state right now. Would we have gotten there this quickly? I don't know. That's my honest opinion. Because we are dealing with the same animal. I think she would have tried everything in her power. But they're making it very clear they're going to let this man do whatever he wants. Congress is not trying to stop him. So we need to understand who's in Congress right now. We need to know who the incumbent is and who's coming in to take their seat. And we need to vote according to that. Not only that, we also need to understand who's taking what money. Let's talk about this real quick. Let's talk about Jasmine Crockett and Mr. Tallarico. People didn't do their math. They didn't do their homework. You know what some people thought? The Latinos thought that he was Latino. He's not. He even said it. So they voted for him because they thought he was Tallarico was his last name. He is not. That's number one. Number two, one of his biggest backers also gave a ton of cash to the Trump administration's campaign. This woman wants casinos in Texas. And she put money in his pocket to see to it that it gets done. You need to know this stuff, and people didn't do their math. You know what they did? They gave him a bunch of hair gel, made him look real cute, almost Beaver-like, from Leave It to Beaver, while she's out here doing what we do, and we run our mouths, and she did what she knows how to do. And someone of that particular caliber, I don't know if she decided to invest in a good PR team, an image and PR team. And if she did, it was too late, because I started noticing visual differences towards the end. Let me explain something to you, Shadow. I have friends that worked directly, and it was not nice. Correct, Fisher says, please know your candidates and go vote, because Black people in Harris County didn't get out to vote. Yeah. And the problem was that Tallarico, I said it the other day, he gonna fold. He gonna fold. You know why? Because that woman put a lot of money behind him. And she put a lot of money behind the person that's in office right now. And you all need to understand how that works. Oh, baby, it's going to be like a napkin all day long, like toilet tissue. And I'm talking about that cheap kind that's $4.99 for a pack of 4. Yeah. Follow the money. You got it. That's how this works, folks. And it's about the advertising. It's about what? Getting more eyeballs to see repeat content over and over and over again until you believe it. You do not vote based on what you know, whether you know it or not. You do it based on how you feel. No, they don't. So what we must do where we currently are is make sure that we're doing everything in our power to educate ourselves at this point and get these people out and get the right people in. Who's backing them? Who's spending money behind these people? And do you agree with that? There's an entire app we talk about it often here. Goods Unite Us will tell you what these companies support, and you'll have a better understanding. Goods Unite Us. So there's that. I hope this has been helpful this evening. It is 9:41. I have been here for 56 minutes and 17 seconds. I said I was going to try and stay for an hour, and I am almost out of time. Listen, what we're going to do, I will be back tomorrow, of course. And thank y'all for coming to hang out with me once again this evening here in the Brownstone. Y'all, we are official. We are the people in the neighborhood. We are neighbors. Sugar Mama, be well, honey. We are neighbors. Remember this. If you are on TikTok, you can already go ahead and check out the link. It's in my bio. I don't want to talk about it here, but you can absolutely go there and you can get access to our shirts. And it actually says Brownstone Worldwide, the people in the neighborhood. And it says it's PITN, right? PITN, right? And it's like a little seal, and it's on a hat, and it's on a t-shirt, and it says Front Porch Energy. Y'all, we got to have some front porch energy out here. We're going to be talking more about that over the next couple of days, a couple of weeks, as we get deeper and deeper into learning as much as we can about what's happening. Because this is so big. And the hard part is, speaking to some friends of mine that are already overseas, that's where they work. It's not looking good for what they want to call this trade 3. I'm gonna say it like that. But I'm hoping upon hope that it's not, because I would rather not see so much destruction that we've already seen. It's just, we got to stop it. The only way we do that is, the number one thing is we got to take this country back. And it's not going to be easy. I'm telling y'all now. So we all have to do our part in ways that we may not feel comfortable doing. Okay. So, let's see. Yeah, there will be plus size. I think it goes all the way up to 5X. Yeah. So there's, right now we have stickers that say Brownstone Worldwide. We have the Brownstone Worldwide logo on a mug. I have t-shirts on here that say "We Still the People." And there is a distressed baseball cap. Y'all, these funds go back in to fund Brownstone Worldwide, just so that you're aware, so that we can continue to do what we do. Because it takes a ton of cash. It does. It takes a lot of money. But I'm glad to do it. Again, y'all, we're going to have this front porch energy. Yeah, it goes all the way up to 5X, Kayshawn. But yeah, because I need an XL for all of the girls up front. Shirt be falling off except for there. But yeah, so tomorrow I'll be back. In the meantime, I'm going to be working on a couple of things. You're most welcome, and thank you for being here. Again, we're going to come back. We're going to talk about news, because the news never stops, right? But then neither does life. And y'all know on the weekends, what I like to do is I like to do lifestyle content as well. So start getting used to seeing that. You're tall and you're not. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. A lot of people, let me put this in perspective. A lot of people think that I'm tall. How could you? My 10-year-old granddaughter is taller than me. Good to see you too, Alexa. I'm like 5'5", 5'6". I'm so short. Oh, you are. You are tall. Okay. Yeah, I'm a little bitty short thing. Yeah. Believe it. Put me in some heels, I'm straight. But yeah, you're 5 feet, Brenda. Yeah. So yeah, that's what we're going to be doing tomorrow. No, Sunday. Let's talk about this really quick, y'all, before we wrap it up. So on Sunday, I'm doing a class called the Creator Ecosystem Intensive. Here's what I need y'all to know about this class. This particular class, right now, if you use the code NEIGHBOR99, you'll be able to take the class for $99. For $99. Yeah, normally it goes for $397. I give you 4 intensive hours. Much love to you, Alexa. I don't feel so bad then. I'm taller than you. I got you by 2 inches. You too have a great night, neighbor. Thanks for all you do too, for being here. So let me go ahead and put this across here real quick so these people know. So the website is the Creator Cash Flow Intensive, and then you can figure out the rest. I'm trying to be, cognizant of TikTok right now. And the code is NEIGHBOR99. If you are on TikTok, you can go over to the my stand store and you can check it out there. Would you think about some news sources we can find outside of our system? Yes, Al Jazeera is one. BBC is another. There is another that I follow from overseas. I follow several from overseas because I'm gonna tell you another one. I'm trying to be careful now. All of these are ones you can find over here. This is what I'm gonna do. I'll put together a list, and I'm gonna put it in my store, and then you guys can go pull it. Yep, Sky News is another one. That Democracy Now. Yep, The Real News on YouTube. Yep, I agree with all of those. You might even want to touch like Midas Touch every once in a while, but what I try my best not to do is be biased, but it's hard. DW Dutch News. Yep. So I think all of you guys have great, and see, this is what I'm talking about. This front porch energy right here. We looking out for each other right here. One person, one neighbor asked the question and everybody responded. This is amazing. This is awesome. This is what I'm talking about right here. So I'm going to be sharing more information about Sunday's class if you want to get in. We're almost to capacity now because I have to, anything extra, and I might have to upgrade my Zoom. I don't want to do that. Isn't that ghetto? No, it's not. It's not. So 4 hours with me. Each hour, we're going to teach you a different segment of how to generate revenue for yourself utilizing what you kind of see me do. Like you heard Sugar Mama say that she saw me doing a commercial and other things. I'm going to teach you guys how to do that, right? And I want y'all to get these coins because they are here. And let me explain something to you. The only reason why I'm teaching it is because I have officially been laid off for 4 years. Okay. And baby, I got to do something. I had to do something. So I started this. I started doing the thing and it turned into this. And I had no idea that it would turn into this, but it has been a challenge, but it's also been a blessing because I got to meet all of you. All right. All right, y'all. I will see you tomorrow. Tomorrow. I'm already 3 minutes over. I am, again, going to be sharing more information with y'all. And y'all, my little plushie, she's here to stay. So is Vernell. Okay. All right, y'all. I'm out of here. 3 things that I always like to tell everybody before we end every broadcast here in the neighborhood of Brownstone Worldwide. 1, love your life. It is the only one that you have. 2, live your life to the fullest and embrace everything that is your life because you only get one you might as well enjoy it. And lastly, breathe through every single moment. Y'all get out there and enjoy your weekend. You can stop the world and get off the minute that you can. Girl, I'll be back tomorrow. Yes, Michelle Crochets. Yes, live. Yes, that's right. All right, y'all. We'll see you all tomorrow. Enjoy your weekend. Y'all, neighbors, remember, we got to have this front porch energy. We'll see you around.
Welcome to Brownstone Worldwide. Welcome to Brownstone Worldwide. Tips, topics, and talk, we got it all. Brownstone Boozy and Breakfast with Vernell. Here to entertain, and we will help you live well. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you are welcome in the essence. This broadcast, Brownstone, the light is contagious. But you need go on and receive it for yourself. Just open it, exuberant, evolution, excited. We standing on the foundation of expression. You might have seen, you might have been, or you could have gravitated. Our foundation, we want to create a space for all to collaborate and be liberated from eventually all over the globe. And we are extending a hand to those who are an extension from maybe platforms, dig into another stratosphere. Welcome to Brownstone Worldwide. Welcome to Brownstone Worldwide. Tips, topics, and talk, we got it all. Brownstone Boozy and Breakfast with Vernell. Here to entertain, and we will help you live well. And that is MSG, the message in the message. I can OD on my execution of excellency. And this as a man right now, and things aren't created, but see true.